Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Saturday, March 7th, 2020. I would like to bring you an update pertaining to missing baby girl Evelyn Mae Boswell out of Sullivan County, Tennessee. If you need verification for the story, please log on to WTHR 13 News, NBC. Heartbreaking. Remains found believed to be missing 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said they believe they have found the remains of missing 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. We have a heartbreaking update in the search for Evelyn Boswell. This evening, authorities found remains believed to be those of the missing 15-month-old. An autopsy is pending and the investigation remains ongoing. Thank you for your support during this difficult process, the TBI tweeted. This is not the update we had hoped to share. We would like to thank each of you for your support over the last 2.5 weeks, Leslie Earhart with the TBI said. Authorities will be holding a press conference to answer questions about the tragic discovery Friday night at 11:15 p.m. at the Sullivan Justice Center. Evelyn Mae Boswell, a 15-month-old from Sullivan County, Tennessee, has been missing since early December 2019 and was not reported until 2020, and the said information below is just a timeline of the disappearance. And as I state, if you need verification for the storyline, please log on to WTHR NBC 13 News. This is a tragic day. Once again, another baffling, disturbing ending to a child's life. I will wait to see what the autopsy says, but 9 times out of 10, we know that this is Evelyn Boswell because they gave an update. Unless they have more children that are buried outside, inside, wherever. Naturally they didn't give a lot of details, but they are stating that this is a relative of Megan Boswell. Let's just say this is Tommy Boswell Sr., her father's residence. One would have to ask, what the hell happened? Are you in cahoots with this death of this child? Was there a tragic accident in this house? You went along and covered it up with your daughter? Are you the cause of the child's death? Was it another child that did it or another person that lived in the home? But I still believe all roads lead to Megan Boswell because she has never given a sound statement, a truthful statement to the authorities, and the sheriff's department made it clear that every time they talk to her, her statement changed. Her statement and the family member statements were conflicting. And the fact that days ago, the Boswell, Mr. Tommy Boswell, was having a problem. I guess he, the son, whomever, they had a problem with the sheriff department, the authorities searching their compound, their property. As I stated to you all in my previous video, why would you have a problem with someone searching your property? If the mother and child were last living there, seen there, then they're going to search the property. And I felt like that was very suspicious behavior, considering there is a missing child, and the grandfather, Mr. Tommy Boswell Sr., is the one who alerted the state the child had not been seen, which brought about a welfare check and then an Amber Alert. Then you go in 2 weeks later, the same said persons have a problem with the authorities doing their job to find this missing child. And this would lead one to believe that they are in cahoots, conspire to get this child gone and or missing after the fact. It's all suspect, their behavior. There has not been any comment from Ethan Perry nor his family members, which I still find odd, and I do know that he's in the military, and as I state, some of you like to argue and bicker over the stupidest things, but I'm going to go here. Ethan Perry is a man and allegedly a father before he is in the military, and I understand that there are protocols in the military, but you would think at this time, all this time that has passed, that someone on his behalf, be it a family member, friend, the military, would speak up to say, hey, this is what happened, this is how he feels, say something. Nothing from his family, just as worse. Allegedly, he is the father, but you've heard no word from him nor his family. And I think it's sad that this child, who allegedly has so many relatives, was alone in the world, and in the end, had no one to speak up for her and speak on her behalf except for strangers in the public and the local authority, the TBI, and the FBI. How lonely and miserable could that be? And all this time, the authorities are out here running around from Virginia to North Carolina in search of cars and campgrounds, when all along, as I had told you all, she was right there in Sullivan County, and I felt that. I didn't feel that Megan was clever enough to go drop her off somewhere. It's just how I felt. I felt like she was in Sullivan County. I didn't feel like this was an act of kidnapping, some bloke kidnapping a kid, sex trafficking, illegal or legal adoption, or just placing her with whomever. I felt like the child was murdered. That's my opinion. Because we all know that if there's an accident with a child in a home, all you have to do is call 911 and relay the information and tell the truth of what happened, if it is indeed an accident. You don't cover up a story, lie for 2 months about where your child is. And I have a problem with the father, Mr. Boswell Sr., because allegedly Megan was living with him with his child. So how is it now, 2.5 weeks in, remains have been discovered, and I'm assuming that it is his property. Let's just say it is his property. How in the world you would not know something is amiss on your own property where you live? And that leads me to think you knew something was going on with your daughter, and she being guilty of getting that child missing, and or you were in cahoots with disposing of the body on your property, because why would you have a problem with the authorities looking on your property? This is a sad day, a very sad day, very sad day. And usually in these stories, when we hear of an outsider, if it's an outsider who committed a crime against a child, we give our condolences and prayers to the family. But exactly who would I and others be giving our condolences and prayers to pertaining to Evelyn Mae Boswell? Who would we be giving our prayers to and our condolences? Thanking the Sullivan County Sheriff Department, the TBI, and the FBI for assisting the local authorities with finding this child. And as they stated in this article, tips were given. A tip was given. So as I told you all before, I felt like somebody had been talking when they searched that trailer, the brother's trailer. Somebody knew something, somebody said something. And naturally, they would search any said residence where they think a person had lived last with the child. That's normal. But I always thought as well that somebody was giving information. And I wonder if it was a said person, they will be getting a reward for the said location, if indeed they knew or knew of or suspected where the child could be found. And how bad could that be, to even think you knew where a child would be on someone's property? Megan Boswell thought she was clever. Father, family members, I group them all the same. But she wasn't. And imagine what she's thinking now in that jail cell, knowing they found her. Oh yes, they did find her. And what I'm looking forward to is justice for Evelyn Mae Boswell. Because as I stated before, all roads lead to Megan Boswell. And I do believe she is the culprit behind the death of Evelyn Mae Boswell. Thanks for joining me. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will bring you an update to this ongoing case. Until the next time, thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.